Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Christine. I like to read dark and disturbing things, and I also love to get book mail. Today we have two bookish box unboxings. So let's see what we have. From the end of last year, I had canceled a lot of my book box subscriptions, with the exceptions of ones that I could skip, such as Aardvark Book Box or Book of the Month, and my Nightworm subscription. So today I have my Aardvark selection, which, is something you could skip. It's a book only, and it's something that you pick out yourself. But I also have a box that I think I've only shown once on this channel before, and that is Caffeine and Legends box. This is one of the very first book boxes I had ever heard of. It usually contains a fantasy book, your choice of beverage. You get to choose whether you want coffee, tea, or hot chocolate, or if you want to pay a little bit extra, you can get a combination of those. An item that is made by a small independent company. So that is this box, and I am not subscribed to this right now, but I did purchase a one-off box because I saw what the book was and I thought it sounded interesting. So I thought, why not? Why not go for it? So let's first just take a look at the Aardvark box, since this one is probably a little less exciting because I already know what's inside. You open it up, you always get a bookmark with a little Aardvark. This one's like opposite color on the other side. That's cute. And then they always put in a little postcard, and it tells you what some of the choices were. And I will say I did not pick this S.T. Gibson book, which is what I normally would have picked because I really loved A Dowry of Blood, but I already had pre-ordered that book. So this month I got two books. I had 2 credits for some reason, so maybe from skipping, I don't remember, but I had 2 credits, and so we went for it. And the first one I picked is something that is very different for me because this is a sci-fi / horror book. I don't usually read, this is like a space horror book. I don't usually read sci-fi, anything. I've always leaned more towards the fantasy in that kind of world, and I wanted to try to read a little bit more. I want to give sci-fi a chance. It's not that I've ever really read a lot of sci-fi, but just in general, that's a genre like of movies or TV shows that I just never really explored. I will say I have been proven wrong in the past with video games. There have been a couple video games such as Knights of the Old Republic or Mass Effect that I really loved because the story was so engaging that I could kind of get over all of the spaciness of everything else, because that part I don't truly care about. Probably I just don't fully understand it. A lot of times things are introduced that I feel like can just make a story go whatever way they want, and it's just not my thing. I did play a horror, oh God, what was it called? I think it was called Dead Space. I think I played Dead Space 2, which was a horror space video game that was really creepy. And that is what this reminded me of. So I wanted to give this a shot. And I'd like to give some sci-fi a shot because I've never really read it. I'll read the inside of this for you. Psychologist Dr. Ophelia Bray has dedicated her life to the study and prevention of Eckert-Reiser syndrome, known as ERS, the most famous case of which resulted in the brutal murders of 29 people. It's personal to her, and when she's assigned to a small exploration crew who recently suffered the tragic death of a colleague, she wants to help. But as they begin to establish residency on an abandoned planet, it becomes clear that the crew is hiding something. Ophelia's crewmates are far more interested in investigating the eerie ancient planet and unraveling the mystery behind a previous colonizer's hasty departure than opening up to her. That is, until her pilot is discovered gruesomely murdered. Is this Ophelia's worst nightmare starting? A wave of violence and mental deterioration from ERS? Or is it something even more sinister? Terrified that history will repeat itself, Ophelia and her crew must work together to figure out what's happening. But trust is hard to come by, and crew members aren't the only ones keeping secrets. This sounds really good to me, and I know that S.A. Barnes, what was the other one? Oh, also wrote Dead Silence, which had a very similar vibe. So if I end up enjoying this, I will probably also check out the other one. Next up, I picked this book solely on the author, and it has the word ghost in it, and that is The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. Catherine Arden wrote the trilogy, what's the name of it? She wrote the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy, which I've only read the first one so far. And she also wrote that middle grade series like Dead Spaces, Dead Voices, Dark Waters, which I own and I 100% plan on reading this fall. So I really like her writing. Had something to do with ghosts. I think it's more of a historical fiction, but let me see. Let's read it together. Yeah, January in 1918, Laura Ivan was a revered field nurse until she was wounded and discharged from the medical corps, leaving behind a brother still fighting in Flanders. Now home in Halifax, Canada, Laura receives word of Freddie's death in combat, along with his personal effects, but something doesn't make sense. Determined to uncover the truth, Laura returns to Belgium as a volunteer at a private hospital, where she soon hears whispers about haunted trenches and a strange hotelier whose wine gives soldiers the gift of oblivion. Could Freddie have escaped the battlefield only to fall prey to something or someone else? November 1917. Freddie Ivan awakens after an explosion to find himself trapped in an overturned pillbox with a wounded enemy soldier, a German by the name of Hans Winter. Against all odds, the two form an alliance and succeed in clawing their way out. Unable to bear the thought of returning to the killing fields, especially on opposite sides, they take refuge with a mysterious man who seems to have the power to make hellscape of the trenches disappear. As shells rain down on Flanders and ghosts move among those yet living, Laura and Freddie's deepest traumas are reawakened. Now they must decide whether their world is worth salvaging or better left behind entirely. I have no idea if this is going to be my kind of thing. I just really love her writing and it sounds intriguing. So it's definitely going to be something out of my normal genre, out of my normal wheelhouse of things that I like to read. Let's get to the Caffeine and Legends box, which can we just take a moment to appreciate this gorgeous artwork? I actually have one of their stickers on my water bottle because I love it. And their website is actually legendarybox.com. Let's open it up. I'm pretty sure I picked coffee for this because I have quite a backlog of tea right now. I definitely go through coffee a lot quicker. And then sometimes when I was subscribed to this, I would pick the hot chocolate option if I was just looking to mix it up. But I will let you see first when we open it. I had forgotten the theme. I actually forget the title of the book right now too, but it is called Message in a Bottle. This was the May box. And on the back, I see we have a recipe for deep sea coconut caramel latte. If you want to take a picture of that or pause it or whatever. I won't look in here until I know. But I did indeed pick coffee because it is right on top. This is fun colors. I have not heard of this company before. I'm not even sure what they're actually called because I can't read Joe Van Gogh coffee. I couldn't really read the font. It says Sea Turtle Organic Blend. The notes are milk, chocolate, berries, and vibrant, medium light roast level. I will probably use this to make some iced coffee coming up. It's been getting a lot warmer. I really like the rainbow package. So we've got some coffee to try, and I see that our item is something quite useful, and that is a water bottle. So I am excited with this. A metal water bottle. We've got the Caffeine and Legends, and on the other side we have, it looks like this underwater library, which that is cool. Kind of reminds me of BioShock before things went wrong. And I will definitely use this. I bring water bottle to work all the time, and I love that it's metal. Okay, so I just looking in my little pamphlet. So I picked the coffee. It says that for each bag, they donate a portion of their proceeds to the Karen Beasley Sea Turtle Rescue and Rehabilitation Center located in Topsail Island, North Carolina. So that's cool. If you had picked the tea, you would have gotten Beach House Tea's Blueberry Beach Breeze Artisan Loose Leaf Tea. It could be hot or cold. I know I generally don't like fruity teas, so I'm glad that I picked the coffee. And if you picked the chocolate, you would have gotten Dick Taylor Crafts Chocolate Single Origin Drinking Chocolate. Has aromas of dried plum, tart cherry, and jasmine. Interesting. And then, of course, the water bottle. So we are down to our book, which I do remember had a very pretty underwater cover. I couldn't resist this cover. It is A Letter to the Illuminous Deep. That is so pretty. Once summer hits, all I want to do is read underwater and water-based books. So let's read this together. Oh, it came with the signed book plate with the same graphics. I like that. And it actually looks like this might be the beginning of a series because this says it is book 1. It doesn't have like a full synopsis, just this tiny paragraph here and then just a bunch of blurbs. So I know I looked it up beforehand, but do I remember what it's about? Of course not. This says, E is content with solitary life in her extraordinary underwater home. Oh, all right, that's cool. Underwater home. Until the discovery of a strange, beautiful creature outside her window prompts her to begin a correspondence with renowned scholar Henry Clell. The letters they share are filled with passion, at first for their mutual interests and then inevitably for each other. So it's a romance. But when a mysterious sea quake destroys E's home, she and Henry vanish. A year later, E's sister Sophie and Henry's brother Virian must piece together the letters, sketches, and field notes left behind to learn what their siblings' disappearances might mean for life as they know it. I'm very interested in this underwater house. And if done right, possibly the romance. We will see. This is, again, very out of my normal type of book that I would read. So I'm up for a new experience. All right, so that's everything I got in the Caffeine and Legends box and then my Aardvark book club. Let me know down below if you are subscribed to Aardvark, what books you picked for the month, and have you ever tried Caffeine and Legends? It definitely leans more towards fantasy, but I have gotten some pretty good fantasy books out of it. So they do, if you are like on their mailing list, they'll have something where the book will be hidden if you want, but you could click to see what the book is. And that's what I did because I just, want to focus on books that I'm really interested in reading and not for the mystery of what the book is, unless it's something like horror where I know I'll probably like it. Also, I'm interested if you have read the other book by S.A. Barnes. I've already forgotten the name of it because I keep wanting to call it Dead Silence, and you liked it. If you think I will like it, let me know. I'm really interested in trying something different. I have a few sci-fi books kind of on my shelves that I think a lot of them kind of have horror elements or kind of cross over into the horror genre. So there's a better chance that I would be into it. But let me know if you think I would like it and what you think. If you have made it this far in the video and you don't have anything to say but you want to say hi, leave me like a little spaceman emoji. I don't know if there's a spacesuit emoji, rocket ship, some kind of spacey thing, a star, whatever. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay spooky.